This is all about working towards that one big, memorable moment that you want to make with you and your loved ones that you can then don't have to break the bank for, but you can use the rewards to really get value out of that.
You are listening to the Redefining Wealth podcast with Patrice Washington. In today's episode, I sit down with Global Head of Co-Brand Credit Cards at Hilton, Nick Khanna. He says it's time to create powerful and memorable experiences. Hey there, this is Patrice Washington from patricewashington.com, where we chase purpose, not money. Welcome back to another episode of Redefining Wealth. This community is so special. This is a community that believes that wealth is so much more than just money and material possessions. We believe in the original 12th century definition of wealth, which says it's all about the condition of well-being. And one of the ways that I truly believe we create that well-being is to be intentional about the experiences that we create in our life, to be intentional about the memories that we really lean into that are going to be the things that we think about, right? At the end of our life, we're not going to wish that we worked more. We're not going to wish that, we had kept the house cleaner. We're going to wish that we had created more memories with the people that we love. That's the truth. And we talk a lot here about this idea of chasing purpose, not money. And here's what I've found. I have found that we can make chasing purpose just about the hustle and grind of work. And we don't really realize that sometimes we lean in so much to paying off debt or only saving and hoarding money, really, that we are not really living fully. We're not really well in our relationships. We're not well mentally. We're not well in just this idea of living life to the fullest. And recently, I asked a question on social media about what do people wish their parents had taught them about money? And I will never forget this answer. There's a young man who responded to me and said, he wished that his father would have taught him that he wasn't going to be able to take all the money with him because he died before he could retire. And their only memory was of their dad always working, not taking family vacations, not exploring their town, not even doing staycations, but working all the time. And when we look at the word memorable, the definition actually says worth remembering, usually because it's special or remarkable in some positive way. And like I said, I do believe that another way we chase money is by being so committed to just paying off debt or only saving that we forget that life is to be lived. And at the end of the day, when we're taking our last breath, hopefully we're thinking about what experiences did I create that were truly memorable, especially with the ones that I love. And I know sometimes you can't fathom how to make that happen in real life. On the birthday episode, when I talked about 3 things I was leaving behind in my 30s earlier this year, I shared that one of them was an attachment to unhealthy numbers. I had an unhealthy attachment to trying to keep my credit at a 800, a 780 at all times, that sometimes it made me not always make choices that were going to be memorable. It made me always just want to focus on the safest thing I could possibly do. And thank God for my husband, because he's all about memories. He doesn't care at all, right? So we have different philosophies, but I've been learning to lean more into that. And so I know it's not always easy for us to wrap our minds around. So I brought in some reinforcement. Yes, I brought in some reinforcement today. I invited Nick Khanna, who is the global head of co-branded credit cards at Hilton, because I heard more about how their company, as you guys know, I've been working with Hilton. You've seen it on my social media. They really have this emphasis on helping people create memorable experiences. And I got Nick on the line all the way in India right now to help us break this down. So Nick, officially, welcome to the Redefining Wealth podcast.
Patrice, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here with you.
I'm so excited. So first of all, it was so hard to get you on the calendar. You are all over the place. So Nick, where are you typically based? And tell us about where you are right now.
Yeah, sure, Patrice. I'm typically based in the US, in McLean, Virginia. Currently, I am calling in to this podcast from New Delhi, India. And yeah, so this trip was, it's primarily a personal trip to visit some family and friends. My wife and I both were born and raised in India and have most of our family still here. So we try and make a trip every couple of years to see family and friends. Our 2020 trip was canceled due to uncertainty and restrictions around COVID. So we made this trip happen as the situation improved earlier in the summer. And so, yeah, we've been here and enjoying some really fun time with family and my 1-year-old nephew, who I saw for the first time.
Ah, that is so awesome. Okay, Nick, so tell me about some other places that you've been then. So India is kind of like going home, right? It's a homecoming of sorts. What are some other places that you've enjoyed traveling to around the world?
It's a great question. I have realized over the last several years, also listening to some of your podcast episodes, I can relate to them. I'm letting go of some material possessions and starting to value memories with my loved ones more and more. And so we've been on a mission, my wife and I, to check off on our bucket list of locations. As much as time can afford us, we try and take 1 or 2 family vacations a year. And just in the last 3 or 4 years, we found that comfort zone in Mexico, in Cancun. My wife and I and our 2 kids have been taking an annual vacation in the month of Feb and visiting Mexico, Cancun, and spending a week there, just recharging energy and getting ready for what the rest of the year has been. And outside of that, my work typically takes me, makes about 1 or 2 trips a month mostly for work. And, it takes me to New York, which has been second home for me for 15 years before I moved to McLean last year. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of that travel. And then eventually once hopefully things stabilize globally and more travel restrictions lift, we can't wait to check off some of the other bucket list locations and stay at some of the exceptional Hilton properties around the world.
That's awesome. Mexico is one of my favorites too, actually. I'm definitely trying to get there before the end of the year. It is on my list. So, Nick, before I brought you up, what I was talking about was this unhealthy attachment that I've had to numbers in the past, right? And I know that it's not just me because I hear it from my clients. I see it in the comments and the DMs that people send me about wanting to stick so heavily to this credit score, right? Or having a certain amount of money saved in the bank. So that means even though they surpass the numbers sometimes, they're not willing to redirect those funds towards having these experiences, right? Or with the credit score, it's like, well, if I got a credit card, it would drop my score. And I think, this is my belief, and you can correct me, but I think that when we look at this from this perspective, it's kind of like a scarcity mindset because we don't realize that we're missing out on opportunities that can actually contribute to travel and can contribute to us creating these memories. So I know you work with co-branded credit cards and you see all of the perks and the opportunities that people have to do some really incredible things. Can you just kind of talk about that? And maybe you've heard similar things about why people are afraid of co-branded cards or cards in general?
Yeah, we hear those anecdotes all the time from our customers. And, as we go out in the market and share some of the great value that our cards can offer. But, you spoke about your podcast on your 40th birthday, where you touched on the 3 things you left behind in your 30s. And I got to tell you, I can relate to that. And somewhat I'm guilty of doing something similar, just to give you my personal background, right? Like I said, we were born and raised in India and I moved to the United States in my late 20s. So for most of my 30s, it was all about establishing my credit history and being very prudent about how I went about opening new credit card accounts to not adversely impact my credit score, right? It was the right thing to do at that phase in my life where you're establishing your credit. But I soon realized that as long as I was being responsible with my credit and managing my finances well, having the right selection of co-brand cards and rewards programs in my wallet allowed me to maximize the value of rewards through everyday purchases. Money that you would spend anyway, being smart and planning ahead could allow you to leverage one of these co-brand cards out there to really unlock a lot of value and take advantage of some of the tools that are out there. I'm no financial advisor, but doing some research, planning ahead could really help identify the right co-brand card, for customers to really get value and earn rewards towards what matters to each person. It could be travel. It could be retail. You spoke about the Old Navy card you have in your wallet.
Yes.
You spend all your everyday purchases to earn rewards for your daughter's things, right? So if travel is important to you, having a travel co-brand card and a loyalty program membership is important to really maximize the everyday spend that a customer would do or a person would do to really take value out of that and use that for your future travel. And Hilton has significant amount of value that we put in our co-brand cards that I'm happy to talk about that customers should consider if travel is important to them.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about what you said is it's the everyday purchases we're making anyway. And that's the thing that I had to wrap my mind around. It wasn't necessarily something extra. I'm going to get gas because I need gas for my car, right? I'm going to buy groceries. I'm going to do these things that I do as I move about my daily life anyway. I've just reframed my thinking to understand that if I'm going to do it anyway, I might as well get a reward for it. I might as well get the extra points, the miles, build up the stays, whatever it is, so that as I go to create those memorable experiences, as we're talking about, now I'm not paying for all of that completely out of pocket. So it's kind of like understanding that what you're doing today is for the savings that you get in the future. It's like you are saving, you're just kind of saving and seeing it in a different bucket, if you will, right? And I think sometimes it's just that mental shift to understand that if your concern is, oh my gosh, if I apply for the card, it's going to be a ding on my credit and my credit's going to drop 3 points. Well, I've taken the drop in the 3 points, but I've also gotten upgrades and I've, traveled very well, or I get the clothes, like I said, for my daughter with the Old Navy card. I just see so much benefit in it. And I think, like you said, there's a season when you have to really focus on the building, right? And that was me too. After I lost everything in the recession, as I was rebuilding my credit, I had to focus on being very laser focused on, okay, I must only spend to this amount. It must look like this. I don't want to have more than 2 cards. It's, I had all these rules in place, but we have to also realize when we kind of outgrow that season. And so now that we've created a sound foundation, it's time to allow yourself to explore and see where else this can go.
You're right, Patrice. I think it's all about what stage in life you are at, but at the foundation is if you're responsible and manage your credit well, there are significant opportunity, really to unlock outside. To give you an instance, right? At Hilton Honors, American Express, some of the cards we offer, the examples you gave, right? One of our cards, which is the Hilton Honors American Express Surpass card, allows you to earn 6x points on all your restaurants, supermarkets, gas stations, right? So for all the purchases that you are going to make anyway, allowing you to take that purchase on the card can earn you these points. And they stack up pretty fast, right? And this is all about working towards that one big memorable moment that you want to make with you and your loved ones that you can then don't have to break the bank for, but you can use the rewards to really get value out of that. So it is working a dollar hard and harder to earn you the rewards that you can eventually take and make that into memorable moments.
Nick, I'm curious. Have you heard about any customers who have been able to do some incredible things by kind of gathering all their perks and stuff? I can just imagine that there's people out there who are literally traveling across the world for $8. I'm just making that up. I'm not saying it's $8, but for a considerable amount of savings, they're still able to have these really grand experiences.
Yeah, you hear about these all the time in social media blogs and, some of the folks that, really cover travel. But, I would tell you that folks are really smart and really maximize some of these cards in the combination of whether it's retail cards or travel cards from a hotel or an airline. And we hear every now and then, instances where customers accrued millions of hotel points at Hilton Honors and then took 2 weeks off at the most luxurious property in Maldives for no dollar value at all, right? So there are significant opportunities to earn bonus points and combine them with the points that you earn from everyday purchases to really rack up enough points to really make those memorable moments at no cost or a fraction of a cost if you had to pay for them out of your pocket.
Yeah, that sounds so good. 2 weeks at a luxurious property in the Maldives. My bucket list is somewhere in Australia. I have a lot of listeners in Australia for whatever reason. I don't know how they found me, but there's so many of them there. And I hope to get there sooner than later. I was really hoping to go this year, but we know.
I got to tell you, Australia is on my bucket list too. So when you get there, you got to let me know how it was so we can follow.
I will definitely make sure to keep a list of all the great places for you to go. So I know it's not just about the credit cards too, right? I know that I've been a Hilton Honors member for a while, and I really do enjoy even the opportunity just to, rack up the stays and get to certain levels. Right now I'm gold and I'm super excited about it because there's a lot of Hilton properties I can go to and get my food and beverage credit every day. And, because it's expensive sometimes when you're traveling if you keep eating out. So it's nice to get that credit. What are some of the global offerings for Hilton Honors members that people may not know? They keep avoiding signing up because they think it's this cumbersome process, but they're missing out on a lot too. What are some things that you would say folks should take advantage of with something like a Hilton Honors membership?
Oh, sure. Hilton Honors is a great program. It's our, award-winning guest loyalty program for Hilton and the 18 world-class brands comprising more than 6,600 properties in 119 countries and territories. We offer a selection of hotels for every type of customer, whether you're a leisure traveler or business, you're traveling solo or with friends, there's always an option for you to pick from within our Hilton properties. We're talking about benefits. There's so much that we offer to our Hilton Honors members, and some of those that I will call out for you, right? So, when Hilton Honors members book directly through the preferred Hilton channels, they have access to instant benefits, including flexible payment options. You can choose to pay with points and a combination of dollars if you want. When you also get exclusive member rates, right, that are not available anywhere else. You get free standard Wi-Fi for all your stays. Members also get access to contactless technology exclusively through our industry-leading Hilton Honors app, where members can check in, choose their room, and access their room using digital key.
I do that.
First, and it's a phenomenal tool that I have taken advantage of too. When you get in to a hotel pretty late in the evening and you don't want to stand in line to check in, you can do it all from your mobile app and be in your room in no time. Other than that, when you think about some of the promotions that we're running right now, let me highlight some of those for you and show your readers, your listeners, how much value we offer. We have a Power Up promotion that's running that just is launching September 7th and runs through the end of the year. All registered Hilton Honors members will earn 2x, double the bonus points on all eligible stays. If you're booking a stay and paying for it through Hilton Honors credit card, you will earn 3x bonus points on all eligible stays, in addition to what you already earned on your card, right? So it's the accelerated value of paying through the card. There is no cap, and these bonus points can be earned an unlimited number of times during the promotion period. And, if you don't have a card today, you can always sign up for a new credit card and still take advantage of these special offers that are running through the end of the year. And, when you think about value, Patrice, right, it just doesn't come through using your cards on an everyday basis. Hilton Honors specifically and other brands offer a whole lot of promotional value for customers to come on and sign up for these cards. To give you an example, we have a current promotion running, which is called Points Plus promotion, where customers can sign up for a new credit card, for instance, our no-fee credit card, and earn up to 130,000 bonus points after some spend qualification, or sign up for our Hilton Honors American Express Surpass card that carries a $95 annual fee and earn up to 180,000 bonus points after some spend qualification. So when you think about all the value that one can get through signing up for a new card and making their everyday purchases on the card, you could rack up significant amount of points that then and take advantage of all the benefits, like you said, the gold tier membership that you get by signing up with your Surpass card that can really make your the trips more memorable, special, and meaningful.
Yeah. That is so good. And I love that you talked about doing this through the end of the year, because I know a lot of times, we only think of, I think the summer travel, it seems like people love to let their holiday travel sneak up on them. I don't know why that is. It's like always a last minute thing, at least in my family. It's usually like October and we're like, where are we going for Thanksgiving? Right? Like, what are we going to do? And since the holiday season is right around the corner, do you have any advice on how people can maximize their dollars while making their travel plans now? We should start early, right?
We absolutely should. Planning ahead is always better because you can do the research and see where you're going to get the maximum value. But, as we're all getting ready for the holiday season and, especially after last year's holiday season was a bit muted, we're all trying to make connections and make memories with our loved ones. So what I'd start by saying is, there's several special offers and promotions out there, which can help not break the bank. And folks should research and plan ahead to see what's the best value that they can get out of them. But with Hilton Honors American Express credit card, for example, you can shop for holiday gifts for loved ones as well as your everyday needs like grocery, gas, and dining, like we spoke about, and earn points towards the future travel. Right? You can also take advantage of a tool that we have called the Amex Planet functionality and split any qualified large purchases into equal payments over several months for a small monthly fee to avoid interest charges. Right? So it doesn't have to break the bank. As you plan your purchases, you can be smart and do the research and take advantage of all these tools that can help you get most value and make those purchases not hurt. Through your Hilton Honors membership, you can also purchase gift cards and transfer points for yourself or to your loved ones as a travel gift. And let's be honest, what's better than a gift of travel, right? So all of our Hilton Honors members can take their points and gift them as the holidays are approaching, and really make those memorable moments with other folks and their loved ones. We at Hilton really believe in giving back, and holiday season is all about the time of giving, and Hilton Honor members can donate their points to various accredited nonprofit organizations on issues ranging from COVID-19, community relief, to the environment, or to hunger. So there's several areas where we set up giving programs where Hilton Honors members can donate their points towards any of the causes that are close to their hearts too.
Wow. Now that I did not know. I love that. I love that opportunity to use points to give as well. And I think that's really big in our audience because we do believe giving is a wealthy habit here at Redefining Wealth. And I think sometimes we only get committed to the idea that we have to give like financially. If it's not dollars, then it doesn't matter. But again, going to make these daily purchases anyway and accumulate these points. Here's another opportunity to give back. And it doesn't really cost you anything extra. It's what you would have been doing anyway.
You're so right, Patrice. We at Hilton really believe in giving back, and we listen to our customers and listen to the causes that are close to them and close to their hearts, and we've really engaged in setting up these programs so our Hilton Honors members can engage with them and give back the points or donate the points in lieu of cash.
That's so good. So good. I would say for me, some of the things that I've been learning about just navigating the travel space a bit more intelligently. I would say a bit more intentionally. One way that I've learned to save a lot more money is, like you said, booking direct, because it is the lowest price. I usually find the lowest price, but what I love right now, because there is so much uncertainty and up in the air, I really love that, there's a lot of flexible booking options with free changes and cancellations, because this has happened to me most recently. And I've been staying at a lot of Hilton properties. I've been staying here in Atlanta, Alpharetta, Georgia, Midtown, Georgia. I stayed in California recently. I stayed at a Hilton property that actually is under renovation. It looks like it's going to be amazing in Culver City. And I've also stayed at a Canopy brand for the first time. That was in Dallas a couple of weeks ago. I was speaking at a summit there. And travel plans change. And one of the things that I do appreciate is because I went direct, it was very easy to be flexible, but I also did get to use that check-in key, just using my phone. What a lifesaver. I waited in not one line. I did meet the young lady at front desk in Dallas. I did meet her, but I didn't need her to check in. So that was nice. I needed her to ask another question about Uber Eats, but I didn't need her to check in. And that was new to me. And my husband, I took him to the Hilton here where we live in Georgia. And he was like, aren't we stopping at front desk? And I'm like, sir, I got this. Follow me. you don't know what's going on. He's like, babe, this is so cool. This is so cool.
You're so right, Patrice. We're all about giving optionality and flexibility to our guests. And, the whole idea of the digital key is to give you the option, right? When and if you want to connect with one of our talented team members, they're at your service. But when you want to be doing all of that by the palm of your hand, you have your mobile device to take action. And from a flexibility perspective as well, we completely understand, and guests have, changing travel plans and the needs based on all the travel restrictions and stuff that's going on with COVID. And we want to offer the most amount of flexibility that we can to our guests. I encourage anyone who's making travel reservations to go direct. It is the best experience. You get the most amount of value and the benefits, and especially at Hilton, where you get the, exclusive pricing for Hilton Honors members. But also check with, each hotel reservation in terms of their flexible cancellation policies and plan ahead. And work, if the flexibility is most important to you, make sure you, book at a place where you have the option of canceling if you need to.
Yeah. And I will say one more thing that I love about Hilton brands are the suite brands. So when we do have family come to town, 4th of July, was supposed to be a small gathering that my husband turned into an extravaganza. And we literally had family here from Mississippi, from Chicago, from Texas. They drove in from all over. And, Nick, they were like, "Are we staying at y'all's house?" And I'm like, absolutely not. It's too many of you. Absolutely not. So they ended up at the Embassy Suites, which is about a mile and a half away up one side. And then Home to Suites, some people ended up at about 2.5 miles away in another direction. And they both loved the properties that they were at. They're properties that we've used before, and we're actually planning our family reunion. Those are the two hotels that we're going to go with. And those suites brands are amazing. So for anyone who's looking at traveling this holiday season and you are taking family with you, definitely look into the suites brands, because the space, I know for sure at the Home to Suites, the kitchenette is such a blessing and a great way to save money while you travel as well. So I just have to say that that's one of our favorites here in the Washington family.
That is so nice to hear, Patrice, and thank you for that great patronage to these sweet brands. But I will tell you, and this is great. This will hopefully be great for your readers, as your readers and listeners are getting out and connecting with their families and traveling in larger groups. Hilton just launched an industry first confirmed connecting rooms. Now, people who are booking directly with Hilton at Hilton.com can have a choice at their selection of hotels and get a confirmed connecting room at the time of booking. So as you're traveling with larger groups or a family, you don't have to stay in 2 rooms that are not connected, but you have the option of picking rooms that are connected. So, it's a great benefit that we just launched, and we're rolling it out across our global portfolio. And hopefully some of your listeners can take advantage of it, because we've seen early results and heard from our customers, and they love the benefit of being able to know at the time of booking that they will be able to take a connected room and stay with their family.
You know what? As a mom, that's really important. I really do love that that's something you guys have been intentional about, because I have traveled with my daughter and I also have 2 bonus children. And so when we've traveled and we wanted to have the connecting rooms, there's nothing like asking for it and assuming it'll be fine, and then finding out the kids are going to be way down the hall or worse on another floor. And they're excited and you're terrified, right? And it just adds another level of stress to what's supposed to be a fun and memorable time. And, again, for the kids, it's fun. For you, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, am I a bad parent? I'm going to leave them down the hall. What does this mean? We have to go back and forth. And so I really can appreciate that confirmed connecting rooms. I think that was brilliant. I'm pretty sure parents are the ones who push for that at Hilton.
And I was one of them. As a parent of 2, when I first started at Hilton 9 or 10 months ago, and I heard the fact that we were working on this capability and we're going to bring it to life, I was the most excited myself, because, it's the same situation that you've been through. We've been through many times. So it's amazing to have this option to be able to book connected rooms and stay with the family close to you and keep an eye out.
I love it. Well, Nick, I'm not going to hold you too much longer. Any last advice for listeners who they want to travel? They want to get back out there. I know Hilton did a survey that, about so many people wanting to get back out and take that first trip. And what advice do you have for those folks who want to get started on creating these memorable experiences in their lives? And if they can't do it this year, that they start planning to make sure that they can make something happen in 2022. What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, we all hope we can all start making more of those memories through travel later in the year. And if not, then, next year. But, if the past year and a half or so has taught us anything, it is all about the power of connection. Right. Through a recent survey, like you mentioned, we found that Americans are done putting off their wish list trips and are willing to spend more than they would in the past to make those dream destinations and trips a reality. Right. But that does not mean that you have to break the bank. Right. So I'm not a financial advisor. I'll say that again. But, small things like doing the research, planning ahead, setting a budget, and staying flexible can make a huge difference in finding the right trip at the right value. As I mentioned earlier, tapping into reward programs or a co-brand credit card associated with travel can really make travel more value-driven and highly rewarding. Members of Hilton Honors programs, for example, have access to instant benefits like we spoke about, the rewards that you can accrue over time, as well as hundreds of ways to earn and redeem points like special global promotions, free night certificates, and once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Plus, Hilton Honors members are always guaranteed the lowest rate when they book direct. At the end of the day, Patrice, travel is all about making unforgettable memories. And the Hilton Honors program and our co-brand cards unlock ways to make these memories more special and rewarding.
Thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate you being here. Listen, this episode was powered by Hilton Brands, but as you know, all thoughts and opinions are my own. When I say that I stay often in Hilton properties and my family and I enjoy the properties, that's exactly what I mean. It has been really good getting out of my own box and not being so attached to, I must save these 3 points on my credit, but looking at the bigger picture. And like I said at the beginning of this episode, my husband Gerald has taught me that life is so much sweeter when we focus on creating the memories. Yes, we want to be financially sound. Yes, we care about credit. But on my deathbed, as I take my last breath, at the end of the day, I'm going to think about all of the experiences and the memories that my family and I have created, traveling all over the world at this point, but even having staycations right in our own backyard. And so I just wanted to do this episode, and I'm grateful to Hilton, but I wanted to do this episode because I really wanted to encourage you to not be so attached at this point. When we talk about chase purpose, not money, this is it. Like these are the conversations too. It's not just about chasing money in the hustle and grind of your work. Trying to save every last bit and being so attached to the credit score is also a form of chasing money. And so I hope that this episode has really opened your eyes to a bit more of what's possible and giving you some things to think about so that as you go about your everyday life, you start thinking about ways that you can take those everyday purchases and build towards those experiences, those bucket lists, those wish list trips and destinations that you want to have because you deserve it. You deserve it, and you should know that you deserve it. So let's talk about it in the Redefining Wealth community. Come on over to the Facebook group. Let's talk about this. What is your wish list destination? Where do you want to go? What are your questions about these co-branded cards or using rewards cards to really build that base so you can go and take that trip? I would love to support you in that. Let's talk about it some more. Come on over to the free Redefining Wealth Facebook community and we'll discuss. Until next time, I want you to go live your life's purpose, find fulfillment, and earn more without ever chasing money. Talk to you later.